Have you ever felt the weight of a job that pays well but drains your spirit? I've been there myself. Today I'm sharing the heartfelt truths about how chasing someone else's version of success left me bored, borderline burned out, and how discovering my deeper purpose actually changed everything. Let's talk about the real joy behind the fleeting high. No paycheck can truly satisfy if your heart is not aligned with what you do. I once had a role that looked amazing on paper, solid salary, prestige, yet within weeks I felt dull emptiness. Without meaningful alignment, each day became a drag. You might have that feeling as well, working on something and sometimes asking yourself why you are even doing this. So many parts of the typical job can leave you questioning the reason behind it. No matter the paycheck, if it's not your mission, you will inevitably check out emotionally. You might even feel depressed, thinking that you're not cut out for it. And you know what? Maybe you're not, but not in the way you think. Maybe it's just not right for you. Maybe you've just fallen into the trap of chasing what's commonly recognized as success. But don't worry, it doesn't need to stop there. I believe everyone carries a unique calling, but not everyone invests time or effort to dig it out. Purpose is not something you can create, it's already there. However, it sometimes takes a lot of effort to truly discover it for yourself. If I hadn't begun exploring multiple options like passion projects or various elements of my job, I would never have discovered what genuinely lit me up. Purpose rarely arrives gift-wrapped at your doorstep. You might have a feeling of being inadequate, but might not feel what is the right path. And that's the moment you can set out to discover it more intentionally, consciously evaluating various options. I discovered mine by pivoting from an area to area of my job, noticing which ones gave me an adrenaline-like sense of meaning. Over time, one path resonated so strongly I couldn't deny it, like the final puzzle piece clicking in place. And then I started testing it. There is a trap though. Very often when faced with this kind of moment, we mistake purpose and happiness with a momentary pleasure. Chasing pleasure like lavish trips or impulsive shopping offer the fun buzz, but empties very quickly. You might think that is the purpose because it gives you joy, when in reality you can get bored as quickly as with everything else. You can even try it. Let's say you think gaming is your true passion because you always associated pleasure with it, and think what it would be like if you turned professional. But then imagine that you turn it into a job. It's a completely different perspective. You realize that the skill really matters, not the way you always played in the past. So you wake up in the morning and then practice one skill 100 times every day. Not playing the game, just mastering this one skill. It's easy to explain that in the sport games, for example. Let's say you train one skill like that every morning for a few hours. Then in the afternoon you train another one and another one until you realize that it's actually hard work. You realize that when you associated pleasure with the game, it was more actual playtime. Maybe with friends or even if alone, it wasn't necessarily about getting better. It was about spending time and you derived pleasure from that. But when you turn it into a job and actually start training the way professionals do, you might lose that passion after a week. So don't rush into jumping to think that typically pleasurable hobbies will be your passion. Maybe it is and it's worth giving a shot, but in many circumstances, it's just the pleasure that you associated with it. Lasting happiness differs. It's anchored in something bigger, like a certain cause, building something for yourself, or creative pursuit that you truly believe in. It's the difference between a sugar snack and a nourishing meal that sustains you. Try to eat only candies and chocolate for a month, for example, and you'll know what I mean. It loses its power of joy. But when you work on something that deeply fulfills you, it lasts. And of course, you will have moments when you feel down, but you find a reason to keep going. When obstacles come, and they will, the thing that keeps you from quitting is the deeper why. It helps you keep going, otherwise every hurdle feels like the end. Anchoring your day to day in the deeper purpose have the power to bring you more sustainable happiness. But it comes with experimentation and testing what that purpose is for you. If I could, I would tell 5 years ago me, don't panic if you can't define your purpose instantly. Start sampling life's possibilities. Sooner or later you will find a track that sparks genuine excitement. And it's exciting as well. We often feel trapped in one job and fear that what would happen if we lose it. But let's turn that script around and ask yourself, if it isn't right for you, what will happen if you don't? Will you always be so miserable? I would also warn myself not to chase short-lived thrills or get lured to superficial status. True happiness emerges from consistent engagement in what you love, not chasing the next ephemeral adrenaline rush. Of course, they are nice and you should definitely have some pleasures in life. Life is too short to keep postponing them, but don't let it become your obsession. When challenges mount, your purpose is the anchor that keeps you forging ahead. Without it, giving up becomes all too tempting. With it, you endure the storms and with surprising resilience. You realize that you feel stronger and more likely to show up when it's difficult, because you have that certainty that keep going is the right thing to do for you. So how can I help you discover the purpose for yourself? First, write down 2 to 3 genuine interests. Think of them as mini lives that you are drawn to, like working with kids, designing, writing, whatever it is. Or maybe it's developing others, or totally opposite, analytical work and solving problems. Whatever it is, no matter how abstract it sounds, write it down. Then start testing. Commit 2 weeks to each interest, diving a little bit deeper. Read, watch content, volunteer, or try a small project. See what resonates more with you and check in with yourself after each test to reflect. Then assess sustainable joy. Ask yourself if it feels fulfilling beyond the initial buzz. Do you crave more of it when you wake up? Write down which parts of it exactly, what brings you more energy and what drains it. Those are good indicators to judge when you compare all of these different areas later. After you write it down, choose one path that resonates the most with you. Then map out a small next step to start doing it a little bit more seriously. And this time, give it a few months. After that, repeat the process and see if there is something else that comes to your mind. Or maybe the one that you chose, it actually is what it feels like, the purpose for you. In this case, congratulations, you might be on the right track. If not, don't worry, it takes many people a long time to discover it for themselves. But just starting is already a great step forward. You either confirm or debunk your idea on what really fulfills you. And then if you look back at your life, you are no longer hesitating what would happen if you pursue that path. Deciding to live with purpose might be the most important and the most difficult decision you are going to make. But if you do so, get ready for lots of experimentation, fun, and sometimes struggles. But when you discover it, I can wholeheartedly tell you one thing: you will know that it was worth it. So don't overthink it too much and start testing it out for yourself, and you won't be disappointed, I promise you.